So I'm wearing my pajamas again, but I will get dressed later today. But I mean, I guess it's noon, and my day's almost over. But because I get up so early. And I've gotten all sorts of. I think this was probably a mixture of both the protein bar batter and the tomatoes that I was dealing with. You know, I'm a mess. But I'll have a bath and I'll look pretty for supper. Because I have a very, very fancy deck supper planned. It'll be what James likes and what I like combined, so that it's perfection. But this is the carrot cake protein bar that I'm very excited about. I hope James will love it. And I'm getting him to try it first with the icing without any stevia added to the icing, because I think there's plenty enough sweet in the carrot cake protein bar itself. But I know James likes sweet, so I'm not going to ice the rest of the bars until he decides whether this sweet. If he wants more stevia, I will put stevia, and then that'll be in the rest of the bars. So we'll see what he has to say. But again, this carrot cake recipe was from page 355 of this book. And I think it's funny because if you read this book, she often talks about eating carrot cake for a healthy dessert or whatever. And it's her carrot cake. It's not, you don't go to Costco and buy the carrot cake there, or wherever you buy carrot cake, with the cream cheese icing and all that, and think, oh yeah, now I'm gonna lose weight and be healthy. This is her carrot cake. Hers is good. So, and I think mine is better. But thanks to her. So there you go. And also her detox, I wouldn't say is the best detox ever, but it's achievable for most people. I mean, not very many people are going to do what I do for detox. So. And I personally think everybody if you have any kind of health problems, that if you can do a detox, a healthy detox, I think it's probably in your best interest to do so. I certainly feel better when I do it. Too healthy, or?
It tastes quite a bit like carrot cake. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, do I need to put more stevia in? Like, I didn't put any stevia in the icing.
So what's the icing made of?
It's coconut butter, which is just, you buy shredded like coconut, regular coconut, and then you stick it in the food processor and scrape and scrape and scrape for like 10 minutes. It takes a long time to make coconut butter and a lot of scraping. So pull up a chair. And vanilla, pure vanilla extract. That's all I put in the icing so far.
So the vanilla is probably what sweetens it up.
Yeah. When you eat vanilla, it reads as sweet on your taste buds. So that's why, like, for me, that's enough. But I haven't been partaking in the coconut because of the saturated fat. Even though if you're going to eat saturated fat, I think that's your best bet is coconut. But no, I love it. But I love it too much. Sorry.
So what's in the carrot cake? Walnuts and
so much.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There's a lot of stevia in the carrot cake, because I had
I figured there was some sweet there.
Yeah, well, there's one medicinal dose of cinnamon in each protein bar here.
Good.
Yeah, that's her recipe is for carrot cake, one medicinal dose for each piece of carrot cake, right? So I just cut my bars the same size as, so that it would be the same as the carrot cake. It's this one. Yeah. So I didn't use her recipe exactly because this is
applesauce.
No, this is raw vegan. I could have used applesauce.
Of course.
And I did have apples, but I chose to use, I pureed one peach instead of
Okay.
using apple. But
Applesauce. Probably a healthier view.
well, I don't know. I just tend to use apple a lot, and so I had peach, and I thought, okay, well, I'll use peach. But I did have some of those sweet gala apples that you like. I could have made applesauce if you prefer. But I think the peach, I tasted a little bit.
Well, I think
I didn't
use
put
either.
honey. She used honey. I didn't use any coconut oil, but I did use the coconut to make the coconut butter, right? So far, the first 4 ingredients I did not use that, but I used pure vanilla extract. I did not use almond flour. Now, I was going to use ground almonds, and then I thought, I don't know. I just wanted to try it without first, because I use a lot of almonds. When I'm making our protein bars, that's our number one thing. Like, almond butter is usually what I use, right? And so I was looking at the other ingredients in here, and I was like, I think I can hide tahini in there instead of almond butter, because I had a jar of almond butter, and I thought, oh, I could make it with almond butter, but I always make the protein bars with almond butter. So I used tahini, and you can't even tell it's in there. So why not? And I didn't use ground almonds, so whatever. And the cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, I used, and I used the same amount that she did. The ginger, I used way more than she did, because I always have so much ginger around. And she used ground ginger, I used fresh pureed ginger. She used baking powder, I did not. And I put the same amount of sea salt as she did. And I put way more carrots than she did. Like, I put that much finely grated carrots, but I also put, I wanted it to be as orange as possible. So what I did is, when I made carrot juice, I saved the pulp. And the pulp is awesome for making a number of things, including this. So I used probably about maybe 3 or 4 cups just of carrot pulp. I'd say 4 cups of carrot pulp. So, and then plus the 2 cups of the grated carrots that she used. And she only used 3/4 cups of dried cranberries. And I used way more. But it wasn't only, I probably used 3/4 cups of dried cranberries, but I also, there's cubes of pineapple, coconut, a number of things were in that mix. Awesome things that I knew James would love. So that went in there too, right? So I probably put about, of the dried fruit, maybe 2 cups of it. And she did not use any walnuts. But
well, doesn't that go with carrot cake? Yeah.
Not in hers. She didn't put it.
What nuts did you say she put?
She put almonds to make the flour, right?
That's amazing.
Oh, and I forgot to mention it when I was giving you the ingredient list for that. I put 2 coffee grinders full of flaxseed, because I knew usually I put chia seeds ground up in my bars. But when it's a spicy kind of mixture like this, you do not notice flaxseed. Like, chia does taste better. But when it's like this, you don't even notice. So use the flax, because it's usually, you can get it a lot cheaper. So, and James has been wanting to try to find ways to eat more flax.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, he was talking about it yesterday. We were at
it's cheap as dirt.
Great Canadian Wholesale. They
It,
sell it in huge bags, and he was like, "Oh, I gotta eat that every day." But we haven't went and bought it yet. The big bag of flax seeds, but
I got.
I think I might have room in the freezer, so we could heave them home and chuck it in the.
Do you have to freeze them when they're?
Well, no, I don't have to. But if I keep that much out, like, how fast do you think you'd go through it?
I don't know. I'd have regular cereal made with it.
Okay,
or
because
out of
like
it.
that's where I keep all my nuts is in the freezer. I learned
Yeah.
it from my mom. Like she'd
Seeds
get
last better than nuts.
like
Don't
I'm from northern Alberta, and now Alberta is really developed. There, it's booming like crazy. Lots of oil up there. Well, tar sands. But back when I was young, it was hard for my parents being vegetarian. I think they were the only ones. I really think my parents were the only vegetarians in all of northern Alberta. So it was, they'd get big bags of nuts and stuff and freeze them up into Ziploc bags in the freezer. And so we always had, like, they'd get almonds in bags, like dog food size bags, right? So we always had that. So that was great. That's one thing my mom really did well. Stuff like that. But a lot of things, like they didn't know nearly as much about nutrition as I do. I've come a long way. And if we had a daughter,
Well, people actually have too.
I
It's
guess,
amazing.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading a book on microbiology and pathology.
Yeah.
Looking at Pasteur basically lived into my dad's lifetime, or my granddad's lifetime. Robert Koch, another guy who's looking at bacteria and junk like that, he died 10 years before my mom was born, and 11 before my dad was born. My dad's still alive. So we've discovered a lot of things recently.
Oh, well, and I put a huge
medicine,
amount of
whatever.
quinoa flakes in there, because also I hate quinoa flakes, but because there's so much spice with the carrot cake, I thought, oh, I'm going to totally hide lots of quinoa flakes in there. So that's why I didn't put very much oat flour, because I knew I could hide quinoa flakes, and why I didn't use the ground almonds, because I don't think I need it in here. It's not that I have any problem with almonds. We eat loads of them, but we already eat loads of them. So
Yeah, they're very good for your condition.
yeah.
They thin out the blood, right? Do they talk about that? We just know they do because it's got that acid that's in aspirin.
People have all sorts of ideas. I don't know. I don't know how much I believe about. Wow, did I ever get messy? I have spices on my knees. How did that even happen? Yeah, I was really working at those. I wish that you'd been here when I was making those, because my hands were like big clubs
Oh
of,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like walking through mud in rubber boots.
Terrible. And so I got it everywhere, because then I realized, no, I need another bag of quinoa flakes. I can put more in there, because I keep squeezing and squeezing until I can't fit more of the healthy things in. I like a pretty firm bar. So, yeah, I opened up another bag of quinoa flakes and it was everywhere. And then everything I touched, I got some on the wall, and it was really took some scrubbing to get that off. Really stuck there. But anyway, is it sweet enough? Do I need to add more? Do you want me to add stevia to the icing?
I don't know. Could use a little bit of sweetener, but maybe on the icing, stuff like that. The icing's always what I like in the regular carrot.
I know.
So. But I gotta say, stevia is it almost seems. We're talking about medicinal. It almost seems medicinal to me. Like it's almost like too sweet. So I don't know how bad honey is. I really don't.
I think it's fine.
I think it might be different from the usual sucrose.
Yeah, no, I just happen to. I could make it with that. I just happen to make it with stevia. I mean, these bars are going to be enough calories without.
So lots of calories, lots of protein.
Yeah, because coconut's really high. and I put
In calories
a
or
lot
protein as well?
No, calories.
Calories, that makes sense.
I put a lot of walnuts in there. There's a lot of. I mean, it's healthy fat. There's a lot of flaxseed. There's a lot of walnuts.
Yeah, squirrels
And
seem to
so
do
both
really
are
well.
going to have the omega-3. And then the.
What sort? Squirrels can eat any sort of nut.
I don't know.
In German, they're called something like Eichhorn, which Eich means oak, and of course, where's that acorn?
But
Acorn
yeah, I
is
think,
something like Eich
you know,
Hill.
depending on what I had, I could use honey in there, but I'd rather use grade B maple syrup, honestly. than
Maple
honey.
syrup's got zinc in it, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
because I mean, the flavor would be nice, and I don't know, it'd work well with that. So she used honey, whatever, that's fine. But I wouldn't. It didn't even occur to me to use honey for this. Honestly, I looked at her recipe and I wondered why she had used honey rather than grade B maple syrup. It's a flavor is good for carrot cake.
Just talking about stuff that heals. Did she talk about honey having healing properties?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to read the book?
Oh, I want to read
can't
every book
remember.
that exists in the world, but it's all a matter of what I got time for. Right?
I mean, she's a bright lady. I have no
Well, she looks healthy,
real
judging
problems
by
with
the
this.
photo, eh?
Yeah, I have no problems with her book.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try. I have a bunch of other pages bookmarked because I want to try those recipes. So, oh, and I did. She also put
What's that, cereal?
one organic lemon in there, and I did put the pulp from, or the not the pulp, the rind zest from one organic lemon. What?
Oh, you did put the zest in.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Like I knew you don't like. I was gonna put the zest from 2 lemons, and I thought, oh, he might be able to taste it because he doesn't like zest, but it's healthy. So I put 1. What did you want to ask?
I just saw something that looked like cereal with fruit on top.
Oh.
It's a picture. Wow, that looks different.
Yeah, a lot of her recipes I really don't want to try, but
Well,
some of them I do.
I don't know if that one would be bad. It looks weird. Oh, she's got a.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
that's
she
different.
changed
It's
it.
anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
So, well, she's got whole grains,
Yeah.
but that's with the fruits. That's why. Veggies at the bottom, which means they're the most important, foundational, right? Green or herbal tea, healthy fats, and what? Yeah, she's putting weird things together. And then the protein, well, she put meat, eggs, and dairy. Well, dairy is not anti-inflammatory, right? It's just the opposite.
Well,
See, eggs have got a lot of things in the yolk, right?
you know what? You read her book and see what you think about it. I mean, it's not. I think it's pretty. If most people out there just picked up this book and followed her advice, they would be healthier.
Oh yeah,
And
probably
then
right.
after
I mean,
you're
I'm seeing
done
a lot
following her advice, then look back on my website videos and find healthier recipes than even this. Because I improve on. So,
Well, that
but
food pyramid is impressive.
I mean, how many people are going to take my gross juice in the morning? You won't even do it.
Why do?
Not with the turmeric.
Not the grossest stuff.
Yeah, and not with the ginger.
Well, that's the worst. That's what
Yeah,
most of it.
and that's what I do every morning.
But yeah, that's weird to see the bottom of a food pyramid with the veggies there. The most important, right?
I don't know. I don't remember what the typical.
Well, wouldn't that be cereals in the usual one? Anyway.
I don't know. I don't remember, James. It's been a long time since I've bothered to look at it. I'm sure I could find a dozen books in the house that have them. Oh, I'm so tired. I did way too much today, and I still have work to do.
Yeah, plus keep the dogs.
But won't you be happy to have a whole bunch of those protein bars around? He doesn't tend to like my protein bars. How's the green tea?
That's quite good. I should be drinking, what, 3 servings of it per day for the cancer?
Yeah. Maybe. Anyway. So, success?
I'd say so, yeah. It's the best protein bar to make, so.
Good.
Yeah, I swear I saw some cereal.
And if you're diabetic, cinnamon is the way to go. So you might want to
How does that
check
work?
out her, huh?
How does that work? The cinnamon?
Something
Just
that's
seems to
supposed to
work,
help for diabetes.
Yeah.
Fenugreek too, and licorice, but we can't have licorice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Too expensive?
No, I have some in the pantry. I was going to give it to you because it helped for some things, but there were some other things I can't remember that. Was it high blood pressure? I can't remember. There was something that you have that it didn't work out for. And for me, like
Well, my blood pressure actually is good. It was
it is
bad.
now.
It
Well,
was
look
bad.
it up
I
again.
mean, it was getting killer high when I had
Okay.
the cancer.
Well, I think that's what it was. So if I look into it again, maybe you can have.
Yeah,
Licorice
the deal
again.
is,
Because I have licorice root in the pantry, and I'm like, oh, great. Well, I guess I should bring that to some of your diabetic family or something.
yeah. So I was in renal failure,
Yeah.
and so your
'Cause I
blood
can't
pressure
have
goes
it.
high. Yeah, for a different reason.
Yeah. And nobody with heart disease should have licorice.
Maybe I should monkey with it. I don't want to make it harder for my kidneys.
But that's actual licorice root I'm talking about. I'm not talking about licorice Twizzlers or whatever. You don't. If you're diabetic and you go out and grab yourself a bag of licorice,
I don't know if that would be really licorice.
I don't
knows
know,
what's in
but there's definitely sugar in there. So.
Oh yeah.
And even if there's not sugar, I mean, I doubt they sweetened it with stevia for you. So just be sensible. Look things up for yourself and make sure that it's healthy before you drink it or eat it or whatever. Right, so. And this is just all good. All healthy.
Leave a little bit for the birds. Gotta keep them happy.
All right. Well, that's that. That's our April the 22nd, 2018 deck dinner tea-ish. Well, all I've had this morning is first breakfast besides that cup of tea. And first breakfast for me is just rose juice. So it's purely medicinal. So I'm going to have something else pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that would handle your appetite.
Well, it does.
It's amazing.
You're fine. You drink that, and well, it's also because I drink a glass of water when I drink it too, right? So, and lots of diet books will tell you if you're hungry, drink a glass of water and then see how you're feeling. Because a lot of the time, when you feel hungry, when you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. So.
Good.
And it works. So, water's life. Drink it up. That's it.